Beneath 3,000 meters of crushing black water, a giant sleeps. The amber lines depict a previously unmapped seamount, rising sharply from the empty abyssal plain. It is a ghost of the Cretaceous period. 80 million years ago, this structure was a violent engine of planetary creation, spewing magma into a prehistoric ocean teeming with ancient marine reptiles. Today, it stands silent in the midnight zone, a towering monument. For decades, our navigational charts showed this region of the Pacific as empty blue space. We assumed it was a void. But where our eyes see nothing, sound reveals a complex, jagged reality. Cut to real-time footage from the ROV control room, screens flickering with data, then switching to the external camera feed as lights cut through the marine snow. This is not just a submerged rock. It is a geological time capsule, locked away in the high-pressure volcano. We are about to descend the flanks of this ancient volcano. We are not looking for fire. Now, let's dive into the data and uncover the reality hidden in the deep. To understand the scale of this discovery, we must first abandon our reliance on light. Photons fail here. Even the most powerful ROV lights penetrate only a few meters into the abyss, illuminating the ocean floor like a flashlight in a cavern. To see the mountain in its entirety, we must use sound. Visual shifts from the optical camera view to a wide-scale, colorful 3D wireframe animation of the seamount constructing itself line by line. The research vessel on the surface utilizes multi-beam echo sounders, firing acoustic pings into the depths. These sound waves travel through the water column, strike the seabed, and bounce back. By measuring the precise time of their return, we paint a picture of the topography. What appears on the monitors is jagged, chaotic, and immense. The data reveals a complex basaltic architecture that defies the flatness of the surrounding abyssal plain. We are looking at a structure rising over 2 kilometers from the seafloor, a geological fortress with sheer cliffs, terraced plateaus, and ancient lava flows frozen in time. This is not a gentle slope. It is a violent landscape, scarred by the tectonic trauma of its birth. The bathymetric map exposes critical details. The backscatter data indicates hard substrate. This is the crucial variable. In the deep ocean, the vast majority of the floor is covered in thick, soft sediment, marine snow and clay that has accumulated for eons. It is a desert of mud. But a seamount offers something rare in the abyss: stability. It provides hard rock rising into the current. As we pilot the ROV closer to the summit, the sonar map translates into reality. The smooth, computed lines on the screen are replaced by the stark, craggy texture of ferromanganese crust and grooves. This black, metallic coating has precipitated from the seawater over millions of years. In case, the ROV camera pans across a vertical rock face, the texture rough and knobby, distinct from the sediment below. We are traversing the slopes of a dead volcano, yet the physics of this environment suggest it should be anything but dead. The seamount is an obstacle. It disrupts the laminar flow of deep ocean currents, forcing the water to accelerate and rise. It is this physics, this collision of water and rock, that changes everything. To comprehend why this dead rock is teeming with life, we must look at the hydrodynamics. The deep ocean is not stagnant. It is a global conveyor belt of cold, dense water moving sluggishly across the abyssal plains. But when this slow-moving water strikes the seamount, chaos ensues. As the current hits the flanks of the mountain, it is forced upward. This is the phenomenon of upwelling. Mountains. The water accelerates, carrying with it a suspended slurry of organic detritus. Decaying biological. The seamount acts as a physical trap, concentrating this dilute soup of nutrients into a focused, high-velocity stream. It creates a localized vortex, often referred to as a Taylor column, which effectively locks the water in place. Over the summit, swirling nutrient-rich particles in a continuous loop. For any creature capable of anchoring itself here, the mountain provides an endless, delivered buffet. The ROV crests the ridge. The gloom of the basalt vanishes, replaced by an explosion of vibrant pink. We have arrived at the metropolis. This is not a reef built by the sun. These are octocorals and black corals, ancient, slow-growing organisms. Unlike their shallow-water cousins, they possessed no photosynthetic algae. They do not need the sun. They rely entirely on the current. They are not plants. They are voracious predators. Zooming in on a massive colony of Iridogorgia, the spiral coral, we see the architecture of efficiency. Its shape is a perfect logarithmic spiral, designed to maximize surface area against the flow. Every single polyp is extended, billions of tiny, stinging tentacles grasping for passing marine snow and zooplankton. We analyze the placement of these colonies. It is not random. They are clustered on the sharpest ridges and the highest peaks of the seamount. This is current acceleration maximization. They grow exactly where the water moves fastest, ensuring the highest rate of nutrient delivery. We are looking at animals that are centuries, perhaps millennia, old. Carbon dating of similar. Think about that timeline. Some of these colonies were already growing before the Egyptian pyramids were built. They have stood here, in the dark, silently filtering the ocean, while civilizations on the close-up on a fragile, golden Chrysogorgia colony. A small squat lobster is visible, tucked safely within the branches.
We observed a symbiotic complexity that rivals any rainforest. This is the engine of biodiversity.
Look closely at the branches of the Paragorgia, the bubblegum coral. We see brittle stars coiled around the limbs, lifting their arms into the current to steal food from the coral's catch. We see galathioid crabs, squat lobsters, defending their host coral from predators in exchange for a high vantage point. The density of life here is staggering compared to the mud flats just a few kilometers away. We find predators patrolling the perimeter, deep-sea cutthroat eels, and slow-moving sleeper sharks, drawn by the concentration of biomass. The seamount is an oasis in a desert. Yet this ecosystem is incredibly fragile. These corals grow at a glacial pace, sometimes only micrometers per year. One misplaced trawl net, one seabed mining operation, could erase 10,000 years of growth in 10 minutes. They are resilient against the pressure of the ocean, but they are defenseless against the mechanical violence of man. If we zoom out from this single mountain, the map reveals a critical truth about the deep ocean structure. For a long time, oceanographers viewed these seamounts as biological islands, isolated Galapagos of the deep, where evolution took a lonely path. But the genetic data tells a different story. When we analyze the DNA of the corallium samples collected here and compare them to samples from a seamount 500 kilometers away, we find a near-perfect match. They are not isolated cousins. They are immediate family. This discovery dismantles the island theory. The abyss is not a series of disconnected outposts. It is a connected superhighway. This seamount is a critical node in a vast, invisible network. The same currents that deliver food also serve as the transportation system for the next generation. These corals spawn, releasing billions of microscopic larvae into the water column. Animation showing a simulation of ocean currents carrying glowing particles from one seamount to another, forming a web of light across the dark Pacific. Most larvae will drift into the void and perish. But the specific hydrodynamics of this region, the eddies and gyres, create a stepping stone effect. The currents carry the larvae from one submerged peak to the next, allowing life to hopscotch across the barren abyssal plains. We are looking at a planetary-scale relay race, where this seamount serves as the vital baton pass, but the importance of this hub extends beyond the microscopic. It anchors the food web for the giants. They navigate from seamount to seamount. Some researchers hypothesize they use these magnetic anomalies as geological waypoints, a natural GPS system etched into the crust of the Earth. When they arrive, they find the upwelling we observed earlier. The nutrients feed the plankton feeds the bait fish, and the bait fish feed the travelers. A humpback whale migrating across the Pacific cannot survive on empty water. It needs these pit stops. Without this specific seamount, the chain is broken. The distance between feeding grounds becomes too great. This realization changes the definition of conservation. We cannot simply protect a patch of water and call it a sanctuary. If we permit deep-sea mining to decapitate this mountain for its cobalt crust, we don't just kill the coral living on it. We sever the highway. We wipe out the rest stop. Wide shot of the ROV pulling back, the seamount fading into the gloom, leaving only the digital sonar map glowing in the void. The map we have created today is more than topography. It is a chart of biological connectivity. It proves that the empty ocean is actually a rigorous, mathematically precise system of energy transfer. Every peak we map adds another piece to this puzzle. Woo! Pull it out
Pull
now.
it up now.
Oh my
God, look at that.
It's
It's huge.
Is inextricably tied to these silent, dark sentinels 3 kilometers down. As the ROV begins its slow ascent, leaving the vibrant coral city to return to the eternal darkness, we are left with a staggering realization. We have spent hours exploring this single peak, yet it represents less than a pixel on the global map. We are scratching the surface of a planet we claim to own. Current estimates suggest there are over 100,000 seamounts taller than 1,000 meters in the world's oceans. Of those, we have biologically sampled less than 1%. We know the topography of Mars and the dark side of the Moon with greater resolution than we know our own ocean floor. Every time we turn on the sonar, every time we drop a camera into the void, we find something that rewrites the textbooks. We find life where it shouldn't exist. We find geology that alters our understanding of plate tectonics. We find the history of the Earth preserved in cold storage. Montage of the sonar map zooming out rapidly, the single seamount becoming a tiny dot in a vast, dark, unmapped blue expanse. The era of exploration is not over. It has simply gone vertical. The greatest front. This ancient seamount, a ghost of the Cretaceous, has spoken to us today. It has shown us that in the deepest, darkest places, life finds a way to not just survive, but to build a metropolis. As the lights of the submersible fade and the data is uploaded to the archives, the question shifts from what did we find to what are we missing? We have mapped one mountain, but hidden in the noise of the unmapped abyss are thousands of others. Volcanoes, canyons, and ridges, each potentially hosting unique ecosystems, unknown species, and chemical compounds that could revolutionize medicine or industry. We are standing at the doors of the Library of Alexandria. The silence of the deep is not empty. It is a silence of waiting. We ask to fear these depths, filling the blank spaces on our maps with drawings of sea monsters. Now, we fill them with data, but the wonder remains. The monsters have been replaced by marvels, corals that outlive civilizations, and mountains that feed the oceans. The abyss does not need our fear. It demands our curiosity, and it rewards our attention with the history of life itself. So, I leave this question to you. If a single dead volcano can support an ecosystem this complex, what else is hiding in the 99% of the ocean we haven't looked at yet? What would we find if we turned the lights on in the rest of the room? The deep is calling. We just need to listen.